Two. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Unity. I am Ken Rakowski. This is Sandy Grigsby, and every single week we come to you to talk to you about ways to make us better. And that includes things from social media, the way you're perceived with your brand. Today, it's about you. Today is about you, and we're going to call this your baggage. Because you may not know this, but you've been carrying a lot of baggage, and when you go onto an airplane, they charge you a fortune for all that extra baggage. And today, it's time to decide what baggage you want to keep, which you keep some, but which ones you don't need. We're going to call this your personal inventory. And when we go through this process, you're going to question what's going on with you, what's holding you back. These are your fears. Such a simple term, right? Your fears. But those fears are some of the heaviest things you have that are weighing on you all the time. All right?
This one's right.
You like that? Your fears. Okay. I did this project or this process with Sandy 3 days ago. And I have to tell you, the day we started it, I wasn't feeling my best. And all my different fears were weighing heavy on me. I didn't know that. But the way your fears work is this: when you're not at your peak, they come in and they creep to take you down. They become literally your heaviest thing. And you may not even know that. You might think, man, I'm so heavy, I'm weighed down, I'm tired, I'm lethargic. It's because your fears have decided it's time to strap themselves onto you.
Your fears also cause you to procrastinate.
Yeah.
That's a big one. People don't realize why they're not doing something. They're just finding every reason in the book to not do that thing that they know they have to do. It's because of fears. So
what I want you to do today is this. I want you to either get a pen, paper, marker, crayon, okay? But you need something either to write down with. It would actually be better to write it down, physically write it down, not type down. Can everyone do us a favor real quick? I know it's a pain in the ass. I know some people might even be driving or running. And I know some people run during this time too. We want you to get something to write on, okay? If you can, let's wait an extra minute. Go run and get, again, like I said, a piece of paper, a notepad, and then something to write with. Preferably not, you've done crayon, by the way.
Crayon?
You use crayon on this. I've seen you write on your one thing. You use like markers and crayons. So whatever you want to use, get that, and we're going to go through this project, okay? So everyone got your thing to write with. All right? Again, we would prefer you to write with it, okay? To write on pad. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. Today is around your fears. When I say fears, what does fears mean to you?
Your fears, things that are making you not do the thing that you know you have to do, things that are holding you back, the things that, not necessarily, because we're not specifically talking about like fear of falling off of a building or.
Which somebody had.
Yeah, someone had that fear, which actually ended up being a fear of rejection.
Yeah.
Because it was like something.
You have to go deeper with
You had to go much deeper. We're not talking about fears of spiders or fears of being bitten by a snake. We're not talking about fears of going on a vacation and the plane's going to crash.
Well, but wait. But those are important.
Those are important.
Because those fears actually might be a sub-fear of the main fear, and that's vulnerability.
Yeah.
Fears of being injured or fears, hypochondria, being a hypochondriac. Yeah. So you got to go deeper with that.
Yeah. So, but try to think of fears that are not just an animal biting you or an insect or someone jumping out and going boom. Like, think of deeper things that are holding you back from doing what it is that you need to do in your life.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through a process of just one of your fears. Okay.
Just one. We did 5 with Ken.
That's hanging up there. Because many of us go through have a lot of fears. But we're going to go just through one fear today because this is a whole process. And we're going to call upon, not all of you, because this is a long process if we would do that, but we're going to pick one of you at a time. So be ready on this.
And most importantly, when we ask you the question, don't give us everything around that.
It's concise.
Just go straight to the point. So if we say, what is your fear? You say what your fear is, and then don't give us the answer because we're going to get to the answer. So.
Right. But the answer is, what is your fear? Yeah. Yes, know that. Okay?
Don't give us the answers and my fear is rejection because, and then give us a long explanation. We just want what your fear is.
We're going to do rule sets on this too. So our first rule is a fear is something that's no more than 3 words. Generally, your fear is 1 word.
Yeah, like judgment. So I'll give you some examples. So fears would be conflict, judgment. So someone thinks I am, right? Being judged by others. Being irrelevant, disappointing others, or disappointment for yourself. I fear if I do this, I'll be disappointed. Fear of guilt. That's a really, really big one. So the fear of guilt is, if I don't do this thing, I'll be guilty, or people will judge me and then I'll feel guilty. So the fear of guilt, not being smart enough, not being liked enough, not being enough, period.
Legacy.
Yeah, legacy is a big one.
Yeah, and men and women have different fears too, which is surprising to hear. Right? You would think we'd all have the same. No. What us guys fear might be different than what women fear. So don't fear doing this. Trust us in this process, and you'll notice a huge difference. So let's do this. Our first question to you is,
what is your biggest fear?
What is your biggest fear? Write that down. If you also want to post it inside the chat, that'd be great too. Again, this is for us. We do not save the chat. So when we post these videos, no one sees the chat. So you can feel as comfortable as you want. We would like you to. So post your fear inside on your paper and then put it on the chat if you can.
Yep. And Sammy, you wrote anything related to time. Be more specific.
Yeah, it's too general.
Yep, be more specific. So you have a fear of rejection. So what if no one wants, follows, likes, or hires me, right? That's a fear of rejection. You have fear of success. What if I get that big thing and then it doesn't work or it fails?
Is public speaking one?
Absolutely. Fear of public speaking is a big one. You have fear of process. What if it's way too complicated, or I can't figure it out, or I don't do it?
Sammy said fear of being late.
Fear of being late is huge. Yeah, that's a big one.
So you broke it down from time to late.
Exactly.
And late's acceptable.
That's acceptable. Because people are always afraid of being late. Because what if you're late? Because if you're late, then you're judged, right?
Fear of commitment.
Ends up being a fear of judgment. Fear of commitment, fear of loss. What if I do this one thing, or I get this one thing and I lose this other thing?
See what fear of the fear in the limelight.
Being in the spotlight. That's success.
Yes.
That's fear of success.
Fear of success.
Fear of disaster. What if I do this thing and then it fails, or something happens, or something really tragic comes out of it?
Not being a good steward.
Yeah, that's one too. It would be like, let me think what fear that would be. Not being good for or with your life.
Not giving.
That would be fear of judgment, and also probably guilt.
Wow.
That's a combination one.
Okay, again, keep these tight, right? My fear is what?
So
talking in front of people,
yeah. So speaking in front of others, that's public speaking, even
public
if it's
speaking
a small
is a big
group.
one.
So yeah.
So we got all these fears here, right? We got these fears, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask a couple of you real quick. David Freeman, your fear is what?
I don't crave being in the limelight. I can be. I'm a speaker, but I don't have to be. But my deep inside, there's like part of me from childhood that fears not being looked up to by the people who I need to have look up to me for my business. Like, it's not as close to the imposter thing that you talk about, Ken, but a little different. It's like,
let's tighten this up real quick, David. My fear is
not being looked up to by the right people.
Fear of
it's kind
admiration.
Of like admiration, but from certain people. Yeah.
Well, but shouldn't you have being looked up to with everyone?
Yeah. Well, I guess admiration then would be.
Yeah, across the board. So what we did is we took that to this, and that's really important. Okay, we need to take this whole whatever that fear is. It could be a whole paragraph down to 1-2 words, and that's it. Okay, your fear is admiration. Great. I mean, I don't want to say it's a great fear, but that's admirable.
Yes.
Okay, so we got that. Let me go to.
Look at you get admiration out of that fear.
But I've been admired by many, so it's
I get it, but still, let's just go with admiration. Let's go to Elton. Elton in Joburg, what is your fear?
One of my big ones is guilt.
Your guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went through this process the other day, and that was a big one. Guilt. By the way, former Catholic, recovering Catholic, guilt is in our DNA. Okay.
Guilt,
passive Catholic.
You're Catholic too?
Yes.
You are in luck, because I will tell you how to cure the fear of guilt. It's one of the easiest ones to fix. So.
We're going to actually go through a process where we're going to be able to cure many of you. Okay. Let me go to Let's go to, oh, Angie. One of my favorite. Angie!
You just did her fear.
I just did her fear. No! Angie, what is your fear?
Hi.
Good evening.
Like this. I get so nervous you're going to call me.
What is your fear?
You guys.
No, 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 no.
Hers is fear of public speaking.
Fear of public speaking.
I can speak to you if I was in your lounge, but knowing that there's all these smart people online, I'm so nervous. I'm
So it's fear of
shaking.
judgment as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep that.
So, and David, your fear is fear of rejection, just to go a little deeper with what
Really?
you have. Yeah.
Wow. Fear of rejection. Okay. Angie, by the way, I like how Arachna said, it's only us. You know us.
Exactly.
Come on.
You're going to love how to solve this.
Okay. You got that? Did you write it down? Your fear is?
Yeah. I did. Rejection.
Fear is fear of judgment and public speaking.
Okay. Step one is identify, which you've done. You just identified one of many fears. Remember, this is that baggage. And the one you probably judged is the one that just came to you like that. It may not even be your biggest fear.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's why we have you write down 5 in this exercise.
Yeah, 5 is really the process, but we don't have that time today because this will take a while. But let's identify the one which you just did. Congratulations. Question 2.
All right. So now I want you to take that fear and you're going to say, I experienced this fear when. Now remember, we're not giving the whole explanation as to the history of this fear and all the things that this fear does. Just, I experienced this fear when. So for me, for example, one of my biggest fears was guilt. I'm going to give you that example because that one's a big one for people. So what you would say is, I experienced guilt, this fear, when, for example, I would experience guilt when I was working on something and a friend would call me and ask me to do something for them last minute.
Got it.
That's when I would experience guilt because, and I'm not going to say why, I would experience guilt when a friend would call me and ask me to do something last minute.
Can you bring mine up? So let me just tell you, I did not really want to do this when Sandy goes, oh, you got to do this right now. But, oh, and I had every excuse in my mind. I can't do it because I have meetings to go to. My phone's ringing. My watch is beeping me. I feel like I probably will have to go to the bathroom like now. Anything I could do to get out of this, but I did it.
And just so you know, the feeling of having to go to the bathroom is your body trying to avoid something.
Yeah, it was me trying to escape. My fear was failure. The fear of failure. And I said this happens when?
I experience failure when I don't do something. And when I don't achieve the level of what I expect to achieve. I haven't written a book. Oh, wait, that goes in deeper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my fear is failure. So what happens is that failure fear prevents me from, and we'll talk about that. Mm-hmm. So what, again, the question to you is, I experienced this fear when? And since you're there, Angie, you experienced the fear of being in the spotlight or being the center. You experienced that fear when? You get to answer that. Oh, we have to.
We can't hear.
Wait, there she is. Wait, she's right here. There you go, Angie. I experienced this fear when?
Well, like, I'm quite happy in my house to, like, if I have to display something or do a presentation, or when I teach people how to make pasta, I'm happy to do it. But at the minute I go and I have to speak in front of people, I fall apart completely. And I think this is ridiculous. I know what I'm doing. I'm good at this.
So hold on, so we only want the win. So you experience it when you have to speak in front of other people.
Yes.
A
right?
big crowd of people. As long as, if it's my house, okay. But
Okay,
outside.
hold on, I'm going to stop. We don't have a lot of time. I'm claiming my time here. So I learned that from the news yesterday. So I experienced this fear when, and just give us a very short statement.
When in a crowd of people.
Perfect. All
Okay.
right. Thank you. Hold that in your thoughts.
Let me go to Arachna.
Arachna, state
Arachna,
your fear.
what's
So
your-
I experience, and then your fear when.
So I experience my fear of disappointing those who look up to me. Whenever I have to make any kind of decision in that's going to change something that I'm doing in my life. So
Perfect. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
We're going to go through these fairly quickly, okay?
Let's do Elton.
Elton again. Elton, look at you. You are the center of attraction today.
Yeah, no,
Elton,
clearly.
I want to hear what his guilt answer is.
go ahead. Go for it.
Okay, I would experience guilt when asked for a favor from a close family or friend.
This is your.
That's beautiful.
You
Love it.
identify that, don't you?
Beautiful.
Yeah, Sandy identifies with that. That's actually one of the processes. Who you
All
gonna go after?
Let's ask Minky.
Well, Mickey's got to turn on their camera.
Minky, turn on your camera.
Turn on your camera. I love this. I mean, I don't love this, but I know what the end point is, okay? Hello, good evening.
Hello, everybody.
So Minky, state your fear. I experienced this fear when?
I experience fear of being in the limelight when I'm called upon to do a presentation or share an experience with a lot of people. My fear is I might say the wrong thing.
Yep.
Or
Perfect. All right, hold that.
Remember, I experience this fear when I'm asked to give a presentation.
Love that.
Right? So identify, again, there's a reason why we want you to keep this short, okay? Again, we have rule sets, and later on, I promise you, you get to make the rules. Okay, later on, but we're not there yet. Okay.
All right.
Next.
I'd like to ask Pedro.
Yes, you want to do Pedro?
Yeah.
Turn your camera, Pedro. Come on, Pedro. I want to see your camera.
Pedro's hiding.
Nope, you can't hide. Dang, he's got a sports jacket on. Look at you, Pedro.
Hello, everyone. Yes, yeah, I also fear when I have to actually speak in front of many people. So when I do a presentation or when I'm asked to speak, explain something. Okay.
Beautiful. Okay,
Pedro, where are you located?
I'm in Mozambique, Maputo.
Ah, Mozambique. Well, welcome. Great to have you here.
Thank you for that. So
Thank you.
That's
Thank
a common fear.
Common fear. We got all those fears. Fear of failure, fear of being in the limelight, fear of rejection.
Yep. I want to ask one more person.
One more. Okay.
Yep. Sharon.
Sharon?
Sharon Marr.
She has to turn her camera.
Sharon,
your camera. Sharon, I did not pick you. She did. Just so you know. Sandy picked you, Sharon.
I did this. Okay, I got the camera on. Hi.
All right, Sharon, I experienced blank fear when?
I experienced the fear of not being good enough when called upon to give my opinion sometimes or participate.
Ooh, that's a good one. Thank you for sharing that.
Sounds like that's kind of twined to be a couple, right? That's
yeah.
public speaking and guilt.
Yes, it's personal and sometimes public when I have to speak.
Stay there, Sharon. I'm happy to see your face. Good morning to you in San Francisco.
Good morning.
Mozambique, San Francisco, we're bouncing all over the world. Okay, so now we have identified your fear. You have. And you know when you experience that fear, when that luggage comes out, that baggage, oh, that fear is here. It's weighing me down. So again, we know, you know what that fear is, and you know when you experience it. Great job. Our next step is?
Okay, so the next thing is, now you're going to take that fear, and you're going to answer this fear, this fear causes me to. So for me, I'm going to use my guilt example. This fear of guilt causes me to avoid answering calls from my friends during the day.
Oh, really?
It causes me to say yes and overextend myself. All right, so that's an example. Ken, what was yours?
My fear of failure causes me not to move forward, causes me not to do things. It prevents me from making something happen because I'm afraid I'm going to fail. Again, my fear of failure prevents me from moving forward. Very simple, right? But of course, a lot of emotions around that.
Yeah. So think deep. What does this fear cause you to do? We're going to call on a few of you. This fear, and only give the answer of what it actually causes you to do. So you don't need to go deeper than that. So
Okay.
this fear causes me to.
Let's go over to Joette. Joette, who's in Reno, Nevada right now. Joette, this fear of, identify that fear, causes you to what? Joette?
The fear of rejection causes me to withdraw from any communication and people.
Yeah. You got that? Without a doubt.
Yeah, that's a big one.
We feel the same. Where do you want to go now?
Lydia.
Lydia. Lydia, you are unmuted. Come on, Lydia. Lydia, want to see your beautiful face? Lydia. Come on, turn on your cameras, everyone. Want to see your cameras unless you are...
Everyone, please turn on your cameras, because if you don't have your camera on, we'll definitely call on you.
Yeah, that's just the way we are, right? It's so true. Come on, Lydia. Unless you're sword fighting and you're in some type of battle, I get it. Or if you're in your car, okay, if they're driving. Some of these people, when they're driving, it may not be appropriate.
Let's jump to Charlene.
Nope, we got Lydia.
Did she show up?
Yeah, Lydia showed up.
Oh, okay, I didn't see her.
Hi, Lydia.
Hi. You're next, though.
Wait.
Lydia. Hi, Lydia.
All right, this fear.
I experience. This fear causes me to.
Sorry?
This fear, and then state the fear, causes me to.
Right? That's not the point of life.
Sorry, let me get to a place where there's no...
You can't hear us that well?
No, it's not quite clear.
Have you been able to hear what we've been saying, Lydia?
No, I'm only getting it now.
Okay, you may not be able to experience everything.
So
I'm only getting it now.
So we want you to think of your biggest fear, and what does that fear cause you to do? So the fear of guilt, for example, causes me to avoid calls from my friends during the day.
That's Sandy's.
Or say yes too often and overextend myself. So your fear, what is your fear?
Talking to people, really, it's...
Okay, so public speaking. So my fear of public speaking causes you to do what?
What happens when you have that fear?
I close myself. I just...
She closes up.
I don't go to most places where I'm expected to say something, and...
So you isolate yourself.
I isolate myself.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Good job. Good job.
Great.
Remember
Hold
that.
that.
Okay. Remember that. Let's go over to, where do you want to go to?
Ferguson?
All right. Let's go over to, you are unmuted. Let's see your camera. Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
There.
Wait, I want to, okay. Let's hear it. That fear causes you to what?
I think I'm muted.
There you are.
Hi, okay. The fear of doing Facebook Live just by being judged. So I've got a lot of value and stuff to share, but I just feel that I'm going to be judged, so I don't go ahead and do it.
But it causes you to do what?
That fear.
You don't do it.
Procrastinate. Yeah.
Yes.
So you don't do it, or do you eventually do it?
I don't do it.
You don't do it. Again, so that fear, which is the fear of what?
Judgment.
Judgment.
I want him to say it. The fear of judgment prevents you from just doing it, whatever it is then, right?
100%.
Good job. Hey, great job. Good to see you, by the way. Really good to see you. Who else do you want to go after?
Go to Yvette.
Yvette. Where is Yvette? Help me out. I don't see where Yvette is. There's a lot of people here today. Oh, right down here. Yvette. There you are, Yvette. Good morning, Yvette. Hello.
How are you?
Yvette.
Hi.
You ready to go for
Hi.
the process?
Yes.
Pardon?
This fear of blank causes you to what?
Yes, I would say the fear of failure, just like some others are saying, causes me to procrastinate.
Do you feel that? Is that how you really feel?
Yeah.
So you procrastinate because you fear whatever it is, you just don't do it, right? Or
Yeah, I don't do it often enough, say.
yeah.
I'll do it, but not to the point that I'm going to get really good at it. So.
Okay.
Yeah, see, there you go.
I just wanted to tell you a quick story. You have procrastinated on something, and because of that, you haven't done it. Now that you did it, you become a master at it, right?
Yeah.
It's almost at everything you do, but you have to get over that procrastination hump. But you
It's
literally
that fear.
become a ninja at it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's true.
Oh my God. This girl, I'm just going to tell you, I got a bargain, okay? Because when I first met you, you were pretty impressive, but now you're like up here. I can't let her go. The resale value on this one's pretty high.
A bargain.
Oh my God, I'm keeping her. I just don't want her to know her real value because oh my God, she's
Believe
like
me, I know my value.
she's like getting Bitcoin at $1,000. I'm just letting you know. Now you're 1,000 plus. Okay, so we went through so far 3 steps.
Yes.
Okay, we identified our fear. We know when our fear happens because this fear causes you to do what, and then I experience this fear when I want to do something, speak in front of crowds or need to do something. Our next step is.
Okay, so next, I fear this because.
Ooh, help us with that. What do you mean?
So why is it that you fear this one thing? So for me, it was guilt.
Okay.
I fear guilt because if I didn't do something fast enough or good enough, I would be judged, right? Or I feel guilt because I would overextend myself and then I would be scrambling at the last minute to get things done and I would get stressed out. So for me, I would feel guilt because of rejection and stress. So answer the question, I feel blank, guilt, because.
Well, how about
What
mine?
is
My
yours?
fear of failure.
You don't remember yours.
I don't.
Because you had so many.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Well, I made him do 5. I made him do 5. Yours is, I fear this because.
I have to write a book.
I haven't written a book.
No, I haven't. And I fear
Not being good.
not being good. I just don't know how to do it. And I won't do it. So again, it goes back to the same thing you do. It's procrastination then too. Because of my fear of failure, I don't do certain things. Like for example, I need to write a book and I haven't done it, which sucks because I need to write a book.
All right. So who's next?
What do you want to go after? You want to do Sammy?
Yeah, let's do Sammy.
Sammy, you're coming on. Let's see your camera. Come on, Sammy. You got the power. I want to see you. Sammy, who's in Chicago.
Yes.
All right.
All right. How's it going, guys? Okay, I fear of being late because if I am or other people are late, I get anxiety and anxious.
Okay, so is it other people being late or you being late yourself?
I would say other people.
Okay, so you fear other people's tardiness.
That's not a real fear then. That's control.
That's
okay. So then I'll go back to me because I hate being late. So I'll go back to me then.
Yeah, but that's
I hate being late because I feel anxiety.
Yeah, but I maybe late is not your fear. It's not being in control.
I was gonna say when you just said that, I'm like boom, 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 like fireworks started exploding. I was like, oh,
fireworks.
Yeah, so that's it. You were wrong baggage. So it's more specific. It's you not having control.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I know you. Yes, it is.
Okay.
So the reason we're doing this exercise, and at first it seems pretty simple, but it draws out these other things, right? So for me, guilt is really judgment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And failure. Because if I feel guilty because I can't complete it, and then I'll get judged, and then I'll fail, right? So it's deeper than what the surface level is. So by going through your fears, you're going to realize that it's not exactly what you might think it is. It's much deeper. So for you, it is it's control. And what did you just say?
It was control.
Yeah, control, exactly.
I realized something. I was talking about this the other day, that we have this hardware, our bodies, which are hard to change. And then we could get in shape, we could work out, you can go get cosmetic surgery, but you got that chassis, this hardware. Everything inside us is software. We could reprogram our software. That's what we're doing today. We're going to reprogram the code inside us so it's better code.
Great.
Okay, but what we just did with Sammy realized it was different code that was actually creating that issue or that fear as opposed to something else. So Sammy's is control.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go through this again. The question is?
I fear this because.
I fear this because. So, who do you want to call on?
Let's go to Charlene. We didn't get to her earlier.
Charlene. She's at the top. I don't see my system.
I think Ava's unmuting people, right? Ava?
Are you unmuting people, Ava? Okay, let's do Charlene. There you go. Hello, Charlene. Good evening.
Good evening.
All right.
So as you were talking, I actually a second fear came up, but I don't know how. So let's go through this. My first fear is I don't know if it's success or if it's not making an impact. So so that's it. How that shows, it's because, oh, wait, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
I fear this because.
I fear this because I want to be liked, and what it causes me to do is not to listen and to kind of want to just make my point. So it causes me to become overly aggressive. I don't know if that's the right thing.
Okay, so it sounds to me, you said your fear is fear of success, but it sounds to me really that your fear is fear of rejection. Because if you achieve the success, what if you're not liked, which is rejection?
Yeah.
Do you see that? Yes.
Yeah, because even my second fear, as you were, was I had a very for a long. Okay, my fear was being dependent on somebody. You know, so I was scared of being dependent on other people for anything, and it caused me to take on control, like always want to be in control of the situation and everything. And it showed up as once again, quite someone that just doesn't listen.
Right.
By the way, you said codependence is a fear.
Yeah, you can be codependent. Yeah.
That's interesting. Very good. So who's next? Who do you want to go to?
All right, let's go to. I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly, but Nitsandovos.
Where's that? Right here?
Yes.
All right.
Please say your name for us so I can know how to say it properly.
Yes. There you go.
I was hoping the difficulty of my name will make you not choose me.
But that's exactly why I'm like, I need to know how to say this name. How do you say your name properly?
Ntanvose.
Ntanvose.
Yes.
Well,
Nice.
There we go. Now we know how to say your name. You're going to get picked on all the time.
So I fear commitment because it ties me down.
Ooh, commitment ties her
But
down.
answer the question.
She said I fear commitment because.
Yeah, because it ties
her
you down. There you go.
Yeah.
Great job. Great job. Where are you located?
Swaziland.
Swaziland.
Nice.
You say it. We have to say it right. Swaziland, right?
Eswatini, sorry, it has changed.
Your location. It's changed. It's not Swaziland.
Yeah, my country changed names last year, so we're still adjusting to the new name.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay, there we go. Thank you so much. Okay, right. Anyone else?
Lastly, let's go to Dee Dee.
Dee Dee. There we go. There's Dee Dee right there. Let's unmute Dee Dee. Hello, Dee Dee. Come on, Dee Dee. Unmute yourself. Dee Dee, there we go.
It's funny that my camera says Dee Dee. I'm Esther. Dee Dee is the name of my child.
Oh, hi, Esther.
Hi, Esther.
Yeah, your laptop said the name of my kitty.
Yeah, well.
She uses my phone for her dance classes. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, Esther.
Okay.
What?
I fear letting my family down because I feel bad if I do that. So everything they ask for, I sort of feel the need to provide for it. And then sometimes I just find my way. I find that I'm way out of my budget or something. Something
All right,
like that.
so yours is fear of guilt and disappointment. You've got a double
baggage.
Yeah, double baggage.
So you have two fears there. And again, guilt and disappointment.
So you fear disappointment because of guilt. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll teach you how to fix that one. That's awesome. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. We're going to move on to the next question. So I want you to think of this fear. You know now when it happens. You know now what it causes you to do. And you know why it happens. Now I want you to answer this question. If this fear came true, So if this fear came true, means actually happened, the worst thing that could happen is.
Give us an example.
So for example, mine is guilt.
Yes.
So if this fear of guilt came true, the worst thing that could happen is I make no money because I am constantly doing everything for everyone else, and I'm stressed out, and I get anxiety, and I end up developing some horrible illness and dying tragically.
Wow, that's pretty bad. Okay, you really
So
took it to
take
extreme.
it has to be the worst thing. We don't want a superficial, well, if this came true, I would be a failure. No, if this came true, I would be a failure, and I would fall off of a building, and I would break my leg, and I would be super sad, and no one would talk to me because I'd have a mangly leg. Like, go really dark with this one.
Fear of failure for me is I won't get things done. I will become irrelevant, and I would probably have to, I wouldn't make any money, and you and I would have to move back in with my father. I'm not going to die. Yours is going to an extreme.
Go even deeper. I might not move with you. So you might move alone to your father. Like, go and take it to the extreme.
I might
Do you
move
really
in.
fear that I would move with you to your dad's house?
Yeah, you'll go with me.
Go deeper.
Dad's got a nice
deeper.
house.
He does have a nice house. But that's not a big fear, though.
Okay, I will become irrelevant because I don't do anything, and I probably would get sick, and I would probably become useless, and I would probably die. Wow, that's horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I don't want that fear. I want to get rid of that fear.
Exactly.
God,
Hence
I
the point of
hate
this
that.
exercise.
My
All right,
gosh.
who's next? Zwelly.
Zwelly, where is Zwelly?
There he is.
Hey, Zwelly! Those are some big headphones.
Hey!
Those are some big headphones. It looks like a bonnet.
Yeah, I have to use the headphones to keep the noise out. The kids are playing.
Jaw phone.
All right. So name your fear. If this blank fear came true, what's the worst that could happen?
Okay. So my fear is a fear of judgment, and why I fear judgment is I fear standing up in public and giving people public advice that they can make decisions on that could change their entire life.
Right.
So if this were to come true, I will be labeled as the guy that probably kills people because their whole lives goes astray, or people would lose everything because of advice that I could possibly have given them, or I could have motivated them to do something which is not in line with what their lives is supposed to go in that direction or not.
So what you're saying is, if this fear of judgment came true, you could destroy the lives of many other people.
Yeah.
Boom. All right. That's very scary. I love it. Thank you. All right. Janae.
Janae, we're popping you on, Janae. And by the way, Janae, you have not changed your profile picture on LinkedIn. Just telling you that.
He checks up on you.
Janae, you were supposed to.
All right.
I still have to, yeah.
Janae, if this fear, and name the fear, came true, what's the worst that could happen?
Okay, I'm still busy writing that down, but my fear, the first one was fear of not reaching my goals. So basically, if this fear came through, I would be dependent on others, not make any money, and basically be stressed and anxious because other people would be right about me not reaching my goals.
Okay, so it sounds like your fear is really fear of failure, and you're afraid of judgment as well. So if you don't achieve this thing, you'll be dependent, and then other people will judge you because of it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Facebook or Instagram, not Instagram,
LinkedIn.
get that image up there.
Just do it across all of them, okay?
Just do it. You're the only person on my LinkedIn that does not have a profile picture, and I normally erase and delete those people. I can't do that with you. Please. right?
Let's go to Jose.
Jose, where is Jose? You see these people right there. There's Jose. Hello, Jose. We are unmuting you.
Thank you, Janae.
Thanks, Janae. Jose, turn on your camera and come on, video. We need your video. And Jose, come on, Jose.
I'm not in condition to connect myself to the video. It's a little bit dark where I am.
It's very dark.
It's very dark. Where are you, Jose?
Mozambique.
Mozambique. All right, so Jose, let's go through it. Go ahead. The question is, this fear.
If this fear came true, what's the worst that could happen?
If the fear of rejection comes through, I'm really, really, really worried about going broken and stress my family. Yeah, I do not. I'm sorry, my English is not so fluent, but I would like to express that when this fear of rejection comes through, I got stuck. I don't do my presentations, and I go broke. My family, experience something so strange in terms of financial situation. So I don't like that kind of fear. I'm sorry.
Okay,
That's something that I can't. Yes.
Jose, it's good.
So what you're saying is, if this fear of rejection came true, you would fail and put your family in a bad situation.
That's it.
There you go.
That's it.
Good job.
Thank
okay.
you.
So there we have what your worst thing will happen with your fear. Now let's flip it around.
Yeah. So now we're going to switch it to, if this fear came true. So this is important to understand what I'm saying here. If this fear actually happens, what's the best thing that could happen? Now, I'm not asking you to say, if I overcome this fear. This is not the question. The fear has to happen. So you actually failed. You actually felt guilty. You were actually rejected. What is the best thing that could happen from that?
This is a tough one. Explain with yours.
I'm going to go back to guilt. So if the fear of guilt, I felt guilty, came true, the best thing that could happen would be I would get so burnt out of helping everyone else that I would realize I needed to focus on me. Or I would help everyone and people would love me so much that
you're the new president of the United States.
I became the new, exactly. I became the celebrity of the universe because everyone loved me. So what's the best thing that can happen if the fear came true?
So I'm focusing on that fear of failure, but then if that fear came true, I would,
if you failed,
if I failed, I would actually learn about all the support my friends and my community has for me, and they would lift me up and help me find success. So my community would support me moving forward. I would learn about their loyalty and their trust towards me. Is that acceptable?
That's a great one.
Okay.
I think that's better than my guilt one. The guilt one.
There's nothing better than anyone. Stop that. Let's go to Elton. Elton, let's go back to you, Elton. Elton in Joburg.
Yes. If my fear of guilt came true, the best thing that can happen is I would find my family and friends could actually stand on their own 2 feet.
Okay, is that right?
So if your fear of guilt came true, your family and friends could stand on their own 2 feet.
No, but about you.
Yeah. But for
what
me,
is the best thing that can happen to you?
To me, is actually I could succeed at reaching my goals, I think, better, because I tend to take care of others and then not focus fully on myself as such.
What's your thought on that?
I feel like you're answering it as if you fixed the fear of guilt. So think of, you didn't fix it. You actually felt really, really guilty.
Oh, that sucks.
Like, it's horrible. You're feeling so guilty it happened. What's the best outcome from that?
You go, oh my gosh, I can't believe this just happened.
That's a hard one.
This is a tough one. I agree.
Yeah, it is.
No, but seeing a positive from something that's a negative is really hard. That's where it's easy for us to see the negative right away.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I think Wow, gosh, this is really tough.
Okay, hold on to it. Hold on. Let's go to
Okay.
David.
We're going to come back to you.
Okay, David Freeman. It's your turn, David. Come on, David.
The best thing that would happen,
But what's your fear?
the fear was admiration,
Perfect.
which I guess is sort of like rejection. And what would be the best thing?
Yep.
If I failed and I was rejected?
Yes.
The woman I've been with for a couple of decades is very loving and loyal. The best thing would happen is I would still have her in my life. And also there's certain spiritual things I'd like to pursue. I'd finally have time to do that. I never have time.
Okay, there you go. That's important right there.
That's it. That's what we were looking for. Boom, drop the mic. If you were rejected and no one admired you, you'd have time to do other things.
Okay, you got that? She cracks me up. Let's go to, who do you want to go to? Angie. Let's go to Angie. Back to Zimbabwe. Angie in Rhodesia.
Yes.
What would it be? No, I said it's Zimbabwe. I know, back to Zimbabwe. So what would it be?
Well, my fear of public speaking, I normally just about pass out. So obviously the best thing that'll happen to me is they take me off in a wheelchair and everyone will be fussing over me and I won't have to speak again.
Oh, I like that. So if your fear of public speaking came true and you totally blacked out in front of everybody, people would take care of you and love and nurture you.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, actually. That's not bad at all. I like that fear.
Oh.
You get coddled and taken care of and loved. It's good. All right.
Did Sharon disappear on us?
Thank you. Yeah, she probably lost
Sharon, no.
All right, let's go to.
Wait, we have to go back to Elton.
Yeah, Elton.
Come on, Elton. We have to go back to you.
Thank you, Angie.
Elton, back. Come on. We're not going to give up.
Okay, I was still thinking. If this fear of guilt came true, the best thing that can happen for me is, I'm still stuck.
So for me, what I said was if the fear of guilt came true, I would end up doing everything for everyone else and they would love me. But I would also realize I needed to take care of myself. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's your, come on, we're not going to give up on you.
My fear of guilt links into something else, and I think this is why I'm struggling. So if this guilt came true, this fear of guilt came true, the best thing that can happen is, for me, is my friends and family would understand that I cannot. And I would perhaps be relinquished from some of the ask.
So others would feel guilty for you feeling so guilty.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay, by the way, we have one more step after this, and then we're going to do reprogramming. Okay?
Yes.
One more step. So just
All right.
hang with us. Okay,
So
we're almost there.
We're going to go to the next question. The next question is, and this one's a little tough, right? This fear is wrong for me because, now the way that you answer this question is, look at the facts, right? What is the evidence to back this up? So this fear of guilt is wrong for me because I am always helping people. I go above and beyond. That's the fact. So I shouldn't feel guilty if I occasionally have to say no. So Ken,
This
your
fear of failure is wrong because whatever I do, I always do great.
Yes.
I always do great. It's wrong because I always do it great.
All right, who is next?
Okay, well, Elton's right there. Let's just try it. Elton, you're right there. Let's keep you up there. This fear is wrong because?
This fear of guilt is wrong for me because if it's,
it's not easy.
No, it's not.
It's not easy. That's okay.
Yeah. This fear of guilt is wrong for me because, Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
No, you can. You can. Come on. It's wrong. But hey, let this displace yourself. Pretend this is not you and you're talking to a friend of yours that has the same fear. You're going to say, hey, friend, this is wrong because why? What advice would you give them?
This fear of guilt is wrong for me because they won't die if I don't help them.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
I love that realization. That's
Good job.
wonderful. Let's go to Aradna.
Aradna, I just saw you shaking your head with Elton going, yes, yes.
Yeah, so my fear about disappointing people who look up to me, it's wrong because the people look up to me, who do look up to me, do that for the reason that I usually make decisions that challenge the norm. Like I'm normally like the black sheep in the family, and I know that I'm looked up to for that reason.
So let's answer it again. This fear is wrong because?
How do I put that in a, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's wrong for me because I know that I generally do take the bigger picture and others into consideration when I make decisions. And they usually are the right decisions.
That's it.
So that's what we're looking for. This fear is wrong for you because you have a history of helping others in making the right decisions. Beautiful. I want to go, thank you for that, to Akshay. Is that how you say his name? Say it for me, Aradna.
Akshay.
Akshay. Woohoo! I'm never going to get it wrong now because Aradna taught me how. See, Aradna, you just proved your point. Akshay, let's go.
Hello. Okay, so this fear of rejection is wrong for me because I am loved by the people for who I am and not what I do.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that. Good job.
Ooh, that's really good.
Is it cold out there?
It is.
It's cold. Yeah, it's cold. It's still winter. It's almost winter. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Now we're going to go into rule sets.
Yes.
Now remember, we identified, you actually felt these fears. Every time you went deeper and deeper, you go, oh yeah, I identify it, I see it, I feel it. You could really understand your fear. Now it's time to reprogram yourself. Okay, explain reprogramming.
So here's the thing with these rules and these conditions. Everything that you feel from these fears, the story that you give behind it, the reasons why, when you feel it, it's something that you conditioned from when you were very, very young. It's not something that's real. It's an illusion because you've come up with the reasons why it's wrong for you. You know why you do it. You know why you feel it, and you know the outcome, both good and bad. So really, you can change it. So now let's create new rules for the fear. But here's the catch to the new rules. Your rule is an if this, then that condition. So if I feel fear of rejection, then if I feel this, it's because of that. So we're going to create the new reason why. So I would say I will only feel, and then what the fear is, guilt, when, and I'm going to give an example. That's what you're going to do. So I will only feel guilt when, or your fear when, and then give the example of when it is. Now here's the catch with the example. It has to be something that is absurd, something that's silly.
But could happen.
But could potentially happen. That's the key. It's not something that, like, you can't say, I would only feel rejection when I travel to outer space, meet an alien, and he doesn't want to be my friend. Because the chances of that are not realistic. Yeah. So let's be more tangible. It needs to be something that your mind could go, okay, yeah, that could really happen. And why is this important? Because your mind needs to go, yes, that could happen. Okay, that makes sense that I would feel rejection there. And we're making it a little bit silly, so it's a little bit more fun. So your brain goes, okay, but that's so stupid that doesn't even make sense.
So let me give you an example. One for me was rejection, not being rejected by people. Is when I make $1 billion, I do not give 10% to people in charities or needy people. My friends won't like me. I could experience rejection when I don't give 10% of my $1 billion.
Now you'll see his wasn't silly, but it was making him the hero. So you can either be a little bit silly or make him the hero. So for me, mine would be silly. So I only feel guilt when
Mm-hmm.
I am at my best friend's house,
Mm-hmm.
drinking a glass of red wine, and I spill it all over her white couch. And then I run over her dog with my car.
Ouch.
Like, that is so...
That's the rule now.
First of all, here's why it's ridiculous. I don't drink red wine, and she doesn't have a white couch. So technically, one day I could go, let me try that red wine, and she could decide to get a white couch, and it could technically happen, but it wouldn't. And she also doesn't have a dog. So she could technically get a dog, but she doesn't have one.
But that's a
and
rule
I would
set.
never run over a dog with my car.
This is a rule set. So now, Sandy, do you feel guilt today because you wore the wrong color on camera? No, because it doesn't fit inside a rule set.
So here's what you're going to do. Once you know what I will only feel this win, what the win is, anytime something guilty or any type of fear comes up, you have to compare it to your new rule set. So if you're going to be public speaking, let's say it's public speaking. So I will only feel fear of public speaking when I am standing in front of the President of the United States wearing a clown suit,
Mm-hmm.
and
You have really bad gas.
I have bad gas, and they ask me about the whales, and I know nothing about whales. So I will feel a fear of public speaking.
Yep.
Then if you're in any other situation, you have to match it up. Am I in front of the president? Am I wearing a clown suit? And am I going to be talking about whales?
And you have gas.
And I'm with gas. No, then I don't need to feel this fear. Let's do it.
Yep.
All right.
But it has to fall within that rule set. You get to reprogram the rule set. So we only have time to call upon two of you real quick. David, I'm going to do David real quick, okay?
And I know this sounds crazy, but believe me, this works.
David, your rule set is?
I will only feel a fear of someone not admiring me if the person is Jeff Bezos and I meet him and he doesn't want me to be his best friend.
Oh, I love it.
It could happen.
Could happen.
It could happen, okay?
He doesn't admire me.
But that is the only time you can feel that.
Yes. So
Okay.
moving forward, if you're with friends, if you're going to give a talk on something and that fear of rejection comes up, go, am I with Jeff Bezos?
And does he not like
Does
me?
he not want to be my friend?
You can't fear it.
Nope.
It's done. You throw it away. You got it? Okay,
Thank you.
one more.
Beautiful.
Wait, one more.
Let's go to, we haven't selected Carol. There's a Carol. It's like the mystery Carol.
The mystery Carol. Carol! I think we just, come on, unmute yourself and turn on your camera. We got both going on there. Come on, Carol, come on. Maybe not.
All right, let's go to Sammy.
Sammy! All right, Sammy. You're on, girl.
Okay, so I feel blank. My new software update is gonna be. I'm working on not to about. Hold on, I just lost it.
I will only feel blank when.
I will only feel not in control when things that are. I lost it. I'm so sorry. Hold on.
That's
I will not.
Something crazy.
I will not feel in control when things are out of my control.
No.
No.
Next.
No.
But I mean, I went to an extreme. Like, I won't feel in control when
You won't feel failure.
I won't. Well, no, I was gonna say control or I had a control one too. Something like control with pilots.
You did. Hold on, I gotta look at it.
And I think it was something like, and I think it's when we were walking. I felt like I was out of control. I felt like when I was.
I feel like it won't be needed.
I felt like it was one of my fears. I feel like when I won't be needed when I'm on a plane full of pilots and the main pilot passes out and they need a new pilot. So I will not feel needed when I'm on a plane filled with pilots and the main pilot passes out and they need a pilot.
Because Ken's not a pilot.
I'm not a pilot, but
they're all
everyone else
pilots.
is. That's the only time I can't feel needed.
Exactly.
Okay, so you have to take it to an extreme. So every So I know now.
It is possible.
It is possible.
I could be at pilot training.
I could.
With a bunch of trained pilots renewing their certification, which we have a friend who's a pilot who flies them around all the time, so technically it could happen.
It could happen. You want to try?
Could it be I cannot feel not control when I jump off out of a plane because that did happen.
No, but you could do that, and that's not extreme. We want extreme.
Okay.
Extreme. Yeah. So you almost have to say, I will not feel out of control. And if you want to do this whole thing of jumping out of a plane in a hurricane while you're carrying a basket of fruit that you're about to give as a gift. I mean, really, that's what I mean. You have to take it to extremes.
Yeah.
So that rule set will only apply when that really happens. Because you might be jumping on a plane. I might be taking you on a plane and jumping out for your birthday. Don't do that.
But then, you know, she is allowed to feel out of control if that's her rule.
But it's such a simple rule because we're going to do it a lot.
Well, maybe those are only times she feels out of control.
Come on, Sammy. You want to try it? Or do you want us to call upon somebody else?
Let me try one more time. If I don't get it, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm going to accept it. Okay. I will not feel out of control when I am out of the country and I wake up and I'm on top of a military tank. And if I can't blow a building up, that's it. I don't
you go.
I don't know. The first thing that I was envisioning myself on a military tank and not being able to press the button or like boom, boom, boom.
You can't.
Okay, so really it's not feeling out of control. It's feeling out of control, right?
Yeah.
So I will only feel out of control when I'm on a military tanker in, where did you say, South America, holding the button, and I don't release it.
Yeah.
Something like
There you
that.
go. There you go.
There you go. Okay.
I will only feel.
Thank you, Sandy, for picking me up. Thank you. For picking
there
me
you go. I will only feel failure when I'm climbing Mount Everest butt naked.
I love that. Yes, I will only feel I'm a failure when I have to climb Mount Everest butt naked. That makes sense because
That's a
the
rule.
chances of you making it to the top of that mountain butt naked is 0. You'll freeze to death. So yes, that's a beautiful rule. Yes.
I will only feel judged when I'm standing in front of the whole country in my underwear and giving the nation advice on how to wear a Speedo.
Perfect. Zwelly, I love that one. That's exactly right. So now, any other time you are speaking in front of an audience and you are not naked or in your underwear and you're not talking about Speedos, you have to let go of that feel of judgment.
You can't own it. It's done. And that's today. By the way, this is Sandy's program. This is over at Confidence Jam. This is the thing that she's been working on for a long time.
At Sandy and Focus.
Sandy and Focus, you could see it. Well, you can't see it yet, can you?
No, you can. Yeah, you can sign up for it. My course is Confidence Jam. Everything goes live on Friday.
Friday. But everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us, Ava, and all of you out there for taking the step and identifying your fears and now reprogramming yourself. It's good?
It's very good.
Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you all next week, okay? Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.